Hello and welcome to the Change Gang podcast with me, your host, Laura Ordile. I'm here to help you hold on to your sanity and your soul as you move through big change in your life. I'm here to guide you, inform you, and hopefully help you to triumph over trauma and the long list of symptoms that come along with it. This podcast series is to bring knowledge, share stories, and open up conversation around hope for those of you that suffer with the difficulties that present themselves in your life, from diagnosed or undiagnosed trauma. Labeled or not, I know you need help, and so do those that have graciously taken the time to have these conversations with me. So let's get to it.
Welcome to the week, Change Gang. I hope everything is going well for you and that it does go well for you in the week ahead. Today I wanted to chat a little bit about something that comes up a lot in the work that I do. And it's one of the main reasons why I do the work that I do and the way that I do it. When it comes to hypnosis for especially trauma, PTSD, CPTSD, or on any and all of the symptoms related to those things that often people aren't diagnosed or aren't aware that the things that are happening for them come from trauma. But a lot of times they are aware that there's something there, whether they want to discuss it or not. And one of the things that was super important to me about the training that I did with hypnotherapy was that it's considered content-free, the work that I do. So it doesn't matter what your story is in terms of healing. You don't have to sit down and talk about it and talk about it and talk about it. And the way that I learned about that was because the person that I trained with happened to work with people who could not talk about it. They were not allowed to talk about it. They were police officers or military or in other situations. In some ways, they were not allowed to talk about what had happened to them or what they had seen happen to other people. And so there had to be a way to help them without that. And so when I did go into some of the specific trauma training, it was incredibly important to me to continue to have that line of thought throughout the learning process. And I did. And I was able to find the person to work with that was able to help me with that and taught in the same way that I wanted to work. So it was awesome. So not only was my original person able to teach me that way, but when I went in and really dialed it in terms of trauma, it was exactly in the same frame of teaching. And I love that because sometimes people think, I know I did through some of the things that I had to go through. I've been through a lot of talk therapy and other kinds of different things. And it's always hard, I think, to sit there and talk about something over and over and over again, coming from it from this direction, talking about it from another direction, having someone question you on this detail, on that detail, on all the little tiny things. And it actually, for me and for the people that I talk to who have been through a lot of those therapies, made it worse, made it more difficult, and made it so that you just wanted to give up and walk away and not talk about it anymore, not get through the quote-unquote treatment to feel better. And some people do that for years and years and years. And it's might help a little bit here, a little bit there, but for the most part, the thing that is still going on is not taken care of. Because talking about it makes you want to avoid it sometimes even more. Or not talking about avoiding it because of that, avoiding treatment, avoiding anything and addressing that situation, because it's like, oh, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want anybody to know. I don't want to relive it over and over again, or even talk. I just don't want to go there. And so, because you're trying to ignore it, it's creating more and more symptoms in your life. It's creating more and more discomfort in your body. And that's not great. That's not very fun. At least it's not in my fun way of being, in the way that I define fun. So often, people won't seek help because they think they have to talk about it. But I'm here to tell you, you don't. You do not have to talk about it. You have to explain your symptoms. I do that. I do say, hey, what's going on? What's happening? And sometimes, how does that show up for you? What's the way that it comes into your life? And we talk about that. But it can help, because oftentimes people will not even understand that there is something, some deep emotional trauma that's been buried so deep that you can't remember it anyway. So you couldn't talk about it even if you wanted to. You go in there and go, I don't know why. I don't know. I don't understand. I just know that this is what's happening. This is what's difficult in my life. And I'm on repeat. And so what the deep, deep hypnosis that I do does is it goes in and it digs down to that tiny little sliver of something that's down in your body and your mind that is causing the irritation, causing the symptoms to flare up. Because your body's going to try and protect you and insulate you from the things that are upsetting you. And yet your mind knows that there's something that needs to be dealt with. And so it's going to push things down into your body to cause issues, to cause IBS, to cause migraines, to cause anxiety. All of those things come from something deep down inside you. So your body wants to feel better, and it's searching for all these ways to do that, and yet your mind is still trying to hold back maybe the deep, deep reason for what's there, because it thinks, I've got to protect you. I've got to keep you safe. I've got to know that you're going to be okay. You can handle these other little things, because there's these other little parts of you that are sneaking around going, oh, well, we're going to do this. And so then while your body's trying to hold on to all those things to try and keep things in line for you, those other things, those other symptoms start slipping by and becoming more and more prominent. So maybe there was nothing to begin with in your life, or even in the life of someone you know. I hear that so often. People will say, they weren't like that when I met them, married them, fell in love with them, all of those things. They weren't like that. And then all of these little things started sneaking through. The anger started showing up. The shutdowns started happening. All of these things started happening. Maybe they lost their job, their health is failing, and the person is probably feeling a little bit crazy themselves. And if that person is you will know that, oh my goodness, I never reacted that way before. I don't understand what's happening. It's like someone else or something else is taking over my body. And guess what? It is taking over. There is a version of you that has that deep down little sliver, that root cause, that the root of the weed that's causing all of these other things in your life is dug deep down inside there. And it's causing those things to continue. And just like, when you get a sliver and it starts to get irritated, or you start to have that little infection around it and it gets so sensitive, and something starts, if you don't take care of it, something really bad starts to happen in your body. And I don't know if you've ever had a really, really bad infection, but it affects your mind. It completely, you might not even remember things from when you had that really bad infection. If you have had a bad fever, people get delirious. That's what's happening inside of you in a way that is still trying to keep you functioning. Sometimes that's working, sometimes it's not. but there is an underlying cause in there to why these things are happening in your life. And the good news, hypnosis is a wonderful way to help go in and get rid of that deep down little sliver, to clear the root. And in doing that, it clears the symptoms. It clears all the symptoms. Things you might not even realize were coming from that. Because when you clear out the infection running through your body, you didn't even realize that you felt that bad. That it was, oh my gosh, I didn't realize it had gotten that bad. And yet it did. And now you feel good again. And it's like this whole new world, this whole new you opens up into this universe that is so amazing. So amazing. So it's up to you. It's up to you. And I look at people and the comments that they make every day in situations about how hard it is and about how they just don't know if they can do it anymore, whether it's you or someone you love. There's help. There's a way for it to be better. And I would love to talk with you about that. I would love to have a conversation. You can come and connect with me and have a conversation with me about any of this. Ask all the questions you need to. If it's not me, let me help you find someone who can connect with you, who is in a situation to help you. Go to Catch PTSD. That's a website, Catch PTSD. Go there and look. And there are some wonderful free resources on the Beat Retreat as well. But go look at all of the people that can help. I'm one of them. And it hurts my heart every day when I see people who are not getting the help that they need. It's why I do what I do. It's why I'm trying to do more and more all the time. Why I'm trying to create some groups that will do that. Why I'm trying to do one-to-one work. Why I'm trying to do whatever it is that's going to help you live the life you want to live. In your mind, in your body, in this world, in your relationships, in your work, all of it. So important. And it's absolutely doable. And you don't have to talk about it. You don't have to tell me all the little deep dark secrets. You just don't. You know everything about you already. And your mind knows exactly how to help you. It absolutely does. And I am happy to be the tour guide, to be the conversation, the connection, the mediator, the hostage negotiator between you and your mind and body to help you get better, because you don't have to be a hostage any longer. You just don't. So that's what I wanted to say this week. A little reminder, a little bit of information out there to make sure that everyone that needs to hear it is hearing it. And I hope that you have a great day and a week ahead that is wonderful. And I also hope that you meet me right here, same time next week. Ciao.
I hope today's episode was interesting and helpful to you in some way. If so, find someone to share it with. Maybe it will help them too. If you'd like to know more about anything discussed here today, you can find all the places to connect with me and the guest speakers in the show notes. Or go to lauraordile.com, LauraOrdile.com, and you can reach out to me there. Until next time, ask when you need help, be kind to yourself, and have a happy day.